getting on the conversation.
Yo, guys, welcome to the Blue Podcast with me, Tom, and Ben. How you doing, mate?
Good, thanks.
I'm liking the hairband, mate. And today we have Dan, Keita Success, who does soccer, football cards on Instagram and YouTube. So I'll have both those in the description down below for you to check him out. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, doing well, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm all right, mate. Thank you. Well, you're one of the few people that often ask me that. It's like one in a blue moon will ask me how I am after at the start. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. Football cards. Ben, how much do you know about football cards?
I used to bash off match attacks when I was in primary. 100 clubs and all that sort of stuff. But apart from that, that's all I know.
Yes,
man of the matches. That's me done.
I remember getting a John Terry 26 like special card when I was younger. I was very gassed, but
I bet you had a boner over that.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Mate, I was like, I'd be like 5-6 years old. Calm down.
I mean, you probably, it was the first time you experienced it. That's probably what it was.
Oh dear, man. Oh, dear. Yeah, no, I think this is going to be a learning experience. This is going to be a learning podcast for me and Ben. How would you best describe what you do, Dan, to someone who doesn't know?
So I buy, sell, trade, collect, invest, flip, break boxes of soccer cards. That's basically what I do. Yeah, there's not much more to it. The difficult part is deciding what you want to do with each thing.
Well, there's currently, I remember you messaged me before, there's new Premier League Prism release.
Yeah, so in the last couple of weeks, we had Premier League Prism, which is one of the big sets from one of the major companies in the game. Two main companies, Panini and Topps. So Panini had a huge release of the Premier League Prism. So that's what everyone's been looking at, everyone's been opening, and everyone's been trying to get their hands on. So yeah, I've personally been getting my hands on some as well. I think I've broken 7 boxes now over on my Instagram. A box break, for those of you who don't know, is basically people pay in for either a random team or they pick the team they want. Then I open the box for them and then send them out their cards they get from that team.
It's a bit like almost like the you know how Pokemon got massive last year?
Yeah.
It's like it's taken over that now because obviously you have a couple of Sidemen. We spoke about this before the podcast.
Yeah,
Sidemen people doing it. Jack Mate's doing it. Obviously you're doing it. It's like
yeah, I don't know about how being included in that sort of names. Let's put them here and let's put me here. It's,
maybe one day, mate. Maybe one day. You never know.
I did see.
We'll have to wait and see.
Zerky did a video on it, didn't he? Something.
Yeah. We were speaking about it before. Simon and Josh have done some breaks on football cards.
No.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm hoping Jack Mate starts putting some stuff up on his main as well, because that would be huge.
Yeah, your best mate, Jack Mate, innit?
No, I had a few conversations with him, but it was a bit surreal when I saw the follow come in. It was a bit crazy.
I can imagine, mate. Yeah, I can imagine. Kind of like kind of the similar thing with me and Ben when we had Tim Lovejoy, and that was a bit surreal as well.
I mean, I didn't know who he was, but.
I mean, I did, fortunately.
I wasn't one of the people who watch Soccer AM, so I had no idea. But
you might still be watching, Ben. Be careful what you say.
No, I'm saying he seemed like a sound guy, but I just never watched it, so I didn't know who he was, basically.
Fair enough. So with your box breaks, you said that there's you can pick a team or you get a random team. What's that about?
So most box breakers for the sort of the larger products where you're taking home 100 plus cards, they sort of run 2 ways. You can either do a random break where people buy in 20 spots, obviously 20 teams in the league. Usually sort of averages out quite nicely. People tend to prefer that because they have the chance at getting one of the more expensive teams for a lower price. But in the same way, you could pay in for an average value and get yourself a West Brom, and it's a bit of a shitter. But it swings and roundabouts as with everything in life, really. So that's the random, and then pick your team is obviously we try and price it up as accurately as possible in terms of what the resale of the cards are, so everyone's getting a good deal. And you pay depending on the team you want.
Who's the most valuable team?
Most valuable team this set for Panini Prism, you're looking at Manchester United, because you've got Greenwood's first Prism. You've also got Bruno Fernandes's first Prism. And the autograph hit for United is Cristiano Ronaldo. So that's comes in quite expensive.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. I think Ben was hoping it'd be Man City.
On, it's got City or Chelsea. City or Chelsea.
No, you asked that question because you thought it'd be City, mate. I know your games.
No. I'm not in this.
City this year actually has a surprisingly weak checklist. The checklist this year in general is not so great. A second year Foden Prism is probably the best it comes when it comes to City.
I mean, we're top of the league, so it's all right.
Of course he says that. Of course he says that. Would a Ruben Diaz first Prism not sell for much?
He hasn't been included. You have a few of the transferred players. So, as a Liverpool fan, Diogo Jota came across from Wolves. Because he's made that transfer, he wasn't included because they'd have had to, they'll be printing these from 6-7 months back. So when a player transfers, it's a little bit difficult sometimes.
Oh, fair enough. Do you obviously when you do Pokemon pack breaks, they often sell the cards, like the packs. Do you do that ever with the soccer cards?
So it has been done. I've known it to be done very well. The packs I do from the breakaway boxes, which I break, have only 5 cards in them. And there's 18 packs. So I tend to stay away from it because I'm giving someone 5 cards for probably, it will be around £25-26 just for 5 cards.
Yeah.
So one thing I stress quite a lot in my channel is I won't ever break anything that I don't see value in. So I'm always talking about value on my channel, trying to find where the value is, where it isn't. And I want to pass that on to people that get involved. So yeah.
That's fair enough. I didn't realise it would be like. Go on.
Where did Chelsea rank then?
Chelsea are one of the more expensive teams. You've got a Billy Gilmore rookie card, which is definitely an option in terms of the big money. You've also got a Havertz, a Pulisic. None of these are their first ones, but there's a decent checklist. Mount as well.
Even though Havertz joined this season.
Havertz joined this season, but I think that was spoken about for a while. Okay. I will need to double check it, but I think he might have had one. I need to double check Havertz because this might be his first season.
So, Tom, where are Chelsea in the league again?
4th.
Okay, cool.
You're just double checking.
It's just.
I'm going to double check that. I need to double check that as well.
Celebrating
Chelsea. Sorry, we are 4th.
Guys, just put that in there,
Yeah, well, it would be a damn shame when City get knocked out by Dortmund, Bayern, or PSG, won't it?
I mean, I'm not going to deny it. It probably will happen. So, even if we get, we'll probably get knocked out by Dortmund, but we'll probably, even if we get through, we'll get knocked out by PSG or Bayern easily. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Dan is a Liverpool fan, so it could be an interesting semi-final if Liverpool and Chelsea win their respective quarters.
Which Chelsea will.
They did just beat Juventus, but yeah, I think
it was not away goals though.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, they shouldn't underestimate them.
Yeah, I mean, Pepe had a probably one of the best defensive performances ever in defending against Juventus.
Yeah. But yeah, you would expect you should win, really. But
yeah, we'll see. Do you think you'll beat Madrid, Dan?
I've got my hopes. I've got my hopes high. I think we'll need to do well at home, which is something we struggled to do recently. But from a Chelsea point of view, as a Liverpool fan who's played Porto in the Champions League knockout stages for the last few years, I think we've done them 6-7 on aggregate. So I mean, there's the there's the numbers to try and do if you wanted to compete with Liverpool from the last few seasons.
Great. Well, that put me in so much.
Have you seen the pictures of Ramos and Salah training? Ramos has got like the chains on, and Salah's like doing pull-ups from like a really high part of the gym. They're getting proper geared up for it, aren't they?
Oh, I bet they are. Yeah, this grudge match. Well, it's a massive grudge match after the Champions League final when he popped his arm out, didn't he?
Yeah, it's going to be huge. It's going to be a good game.
Definitely. For people who maybe want to get into cards, what would you advise?
Patience is the biggest thing when it comes to football cards. Patience in doing your research before you start. It's so easy to start, and then in 1-2 months time, if you're not tracking what you're spending, so easy to have 1,500-2,000 pounds in cards. Really easy to lose track. So patience when you start, and patience when you buy as well. A lot of cards that you'll see on eBay are massively overpriced. So it's all about having that patience, working out the players you want to go for, learning their prices, and then going from there.
Oh. So like, would you say don't touch eBay at first?
I wouldn't touch eBay at first. There are quite a few websites that you can use to learn about past eBay prices. I'd use those quite a lot. Learn the players you want to buy, learn the cards you want to buy. Use those, look at like previously sold cards to give you sort of a ballpark as to where you should be, and then go from there. One thing I would certainly suggest is getting involved on Instagram. Absolutely huge community of people who buy, sell, trade, flip, invest in soccer cards. Learn from them. There are some guys who've been doing this for tens of years, and they're so helpful in terms of knowledge.
Do you know what the most expensive card is right now?
The most expensive card, I don't off the top of my head, but if I was to hazard a guess, I'd probably go for a 2004 Messi that's been graded by PSA. I think there was a recent PSA 8 that sold very highly. I think that's probably what we're looking at.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Money.
Was that?
There's money to be made.
huge amounts of money to be made. Huge amounts. I can't remember. I think there was a Haaland PSA 10 Topps Chrome. No, not Topps Chrome. Topps Finest when he's in his Salzburg kit, which I believe recently sold for around £10,000.
Who has £10,000?
You'd be surprised that when you've got Gary V peddling sports cards, you'd be surprised at the amount of money that people will throw at it.
It's almost turning like collectible cards are almost turning into a currency right now, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think you're starting to see that with the likes of NFTs, cryptocurrencies. I think there's always going to be alternative stocks and shares as it is.
Yeah, definitely. What's the best card you have?
Best card I have? Well, I've got a couple off for grading currently. I obviously haven't got to hand, so I can't show you. I recently bought in from America a Diogo Jota impeccable card. So the boxes are impeccable. I believe it's 7 cards you get per box, and those boxes sell for £1,500+ so I got a really good deal on it. I bought a Diogo Jota number 235, so only 35 have been produced, and I paid about £15 for it.
I'm guessing that's
if I was to sell it in the UK, I'd probably be looking around 50, 60 for that card, possibly even a bit more. And one thing I talk about in my channel is I make money on a budget. I try to be relevant to people who haven't got hundreds of pounds to go and, whack on sports cards. So I prefer to buy around that sort of point. So I don't have huge value cards, which I suppose is not quite what you were hoping for with the answer to that question. But
no, I was just interested, mate.
Yeah. No, it's a case of I prefer to. So I've got them behind me now. I've probably got about 600, 700 cards in total. Nothing of more than sort of 50, 60 pound value, but
that's still quite a lot for a singular card.
Yeah, I mean, for a single card, at the end of the day, it's a piece of cardboard with a footballer's face on it, which is crazy that people pay a lot of money for that. But it's what floats people's boats at the end of the day.
I know when I was younger, obviously I had Pokemon cards and match attacks, and obviously they've disappeared. Do you still have your kind of like older like soccer card match attacks?
I have one. I have like a half complete binder from 2007, 2008, possibly. But yeah, I don't have any of the sort of the older ones left. I think I sold them all at car boot sale at some point.
Fair enough. Do you regret that?
Absolutely. Match attacks in general don't carry too much value, unfortunately, still to this day. But if you get the right card and it's in good condition, Harry Kane's first ever produced card was a 2014-15 match attacks card. So the rookie potential, the rookie card is basically the first card that's been produced of a player. Those are selling now for £15 to £20 a piece. Which it's not huge amounts, but it's still quite a large amount for a packet. A card in a packet you would have paid £1 for. Yeah. At the time.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you still see matches. So, if you had to like rank, I guess, like the types of like your match attacks, tops, those cards. What's like? Obviously, there's like a tier of which one's more valued than the other. Do you want to try and explain that?
Sure. So you have, I recently did a video on it. You have your sort of your lower tier products, your middle tier products, and your higher tier products. In the UK, your lower tier products, you're looking at things like this, your Champions League stickers produced by Topps. You're looking at your Premier League stickers. I don't think I've got any to hand. Produced by Panini, and those are still 50p to £1 in shops. And there are some really, really nice investments within those still. You've got match attacks, so you've got the cards, you've got Adrenaline XL. I'm not a big fan of the Adrenaline XL match attacks. I'd much rather have my cheaper investments in stickers. Something the Americans haven't really noticed yet is over in Europe, we love stickers. So I think there's a really, really big untapped market in terms of low-cost stickers. And if you can get them over to America, people do pay quite a premium. In terms of middle value, Topps do weekly releases for different sets. You have a Topps Now, where they basically celebrate a player's achievement during that week. So I don't think I've got any to hand, but you had a player that I like, Ryan Gravenberch. He scored his first Champions League goal in the group stages. So Topps did a card for that, so I bought a few of those. So that's your sort of your middle tier stuff. Unfortunately, Panini haven't really ventured into that middle tier stuff. They do have what's called Panini Instant, which is similar to Topps Now, but it's only available in like Italy where it's produced, unfortunately. So we can't get hold of those in the UK. And then in terms of your bigger value products, you've got these sort of things. These are Prism boxes. These come in around £3.80 a pop. For a tiny little box, which is crazy. So yeah, it's that's sort of the higher tier stuff.
I don't know if you said before, but how many cards would you get in like that 350 big box?
So yeah, this one you've got 5 packs per 5 cards per pack. You've got 18 packs, so 90 in total.
Yeah.
So it's 90. You're probably paying £3-4 a card.
Mm-hmm.
It's some big money that goes into these things.
Fair enough. Yeah. I'm debating in my head right now whether or not when's your next pack break?
So the next break, I think we're looking at either Wednesday or Thursday live on Instagram.
Still spots left?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, this thing is that this podcast won't be out till Thursday. We probably will have box breaks after that anyway. So
yeah, I'll have breaks going afterwards. So I've got still a couple more boxes to get through.
All right. Well, anyone watching, and that is interested in maybe some collectible cards, I'll have your Instagram in the description, and you do most of your box breaks on there, don't you?
Yeah, all live on Instagram.
All right. Well, then go check him out there for some box breaks, and maybe you never know, if you get one, you could get something pretty good.
Absolutely. I think yesterday we pulled a Kieran Tierney, number to 10.
Is that good? I don't know, obviously.
So you're probably looking off the top of my head to the right person, maybe 200, 250 pounds.
200, 250 pounds for, and how much would they have bought that card for?
So that was in a randomised break, so they will have paid about £20 for their spot.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all. They also got a Saka Emergent, which sells for around 30-ish as well, so they did all right.
They did all right. That's wow. How many cards would they have got in that?
So it's unfortunately it's random. I don't have any control over the number of cards that people get. Some people will go home with 2-3 cards. Some people will go home with 9-10. It's just what the box has in it, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think that's kind of my general questions about cards. Have you got anything else, Ben?
What was that box called? What was the other one before?
He's asking.
Obsidian. What was it about that?
Obsidian. Yes, that's the next release coming out.
That's the next release coming out, apparently. Yeah, see, we got someone who knows a little bit about it here.
He's an OG. He's an OG host, isn't he? Is that Kieran's an OG host? He was there.
No, it's Brad, Kieran's cousin.
Brad. Kieran's cousin. Cheers for the follow on Instagram, Brad. What's happening with that then? What's it called?
So Obsidian is the big new one to come out next from Panini. Expensive, very, very expensive, similar to Impeccable and immaculate in terms of its box of a low number of cards, but the prices are huge.
Are you gonna go into that?
I probably won't. My followers are more based on a sort of a budget, so I'll be sticking to breaks that I feel they can buy into at a decent price.
What prices are you looking at for them, the Obsidian?
For Obsidian, I believe, obviously we haven't had them come out yet, but if you're looking at last year's boxes, you're looking at £1,000 plus.
That's a lot.
But you could potentially get a player that's worth more than that in those boxes.
Absolutely. So the majority, if not all, of the Obsidian cards are numbered. Mm-hmm. So what you're buying is a very premium product for a very high price. As with everything, in football cards, it's risk reward. You go and buy a Match Attacks pack and you're collecting the set. There's a chance you don't get there's a chance you get what you want. There's a chance you don't get what you want. You buy a £1,000 Obsidian box. There's a chance you get what you want. There's a chance you don't get what you want.
Yeah. Fair enough. That's kind of the same with all collectible cards, isn't it?
Absolutely. There's always a risk and reward.
You want to say something, Ben?
No, I was just saying that it's fair enough. Yeah.
With these soccer cards, is the price going up over time?
Some of them, absolutely. I think the majority of cards are going up in price as well. I think over the past sort of 3-4 months since I started properly buying, the majority of cards in general have gone up. I recently bought a Haaland rookie sticker from the base Panini set, Panini 365. It's a tri-sticker with him, Kang In Lee, and Lunin, the goalkeeper from Real Madrid on. I bought that for about £10 2 months ago. That's now sitting around 50, and I predict that's probably going to go into the 3-figure mark sometime soon.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Haaland's going absolutely huge currently. The prices are going absolutely through the roof.
I can imagine, considering his form right now.
It's crazy. How long it will sustain, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see.
Fair enough. Well, it probably depends if he goes to City or Real Madrid, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think transfers are a huge thing within football cards as well. If you can predict when a player's going to have a transfer and when they're going to move, you can buy up that card beforehand and then sell during the transfer hype. It's a really, really good way of making profit on those players.
I thought Abramovich was prepared to break the bank for Haaland, though, Tom.
I'm not jinxing it, mate. I'm not jinxing it. Would, like you said, would a card like a Haaland card, Dortmund card, this first Dortmund card, be more valued, let's say, when he's played for Real Madrid for 2 seasons?
It's difficult to say. I think with Haaland, his most valuable cards will always be him in a Salzburg top.
So would the Salzburg top keep on increasing in price over the years, possibly?
Absolutely. So one thing you're seeing more and more nowadays is when people get priced out of those true rookies, they then start to buy the next one.
Okay.
So the next available option. So Haaland's rookie sticker from Fußball, the Austrian Fußball League, from 2019-20. When I came into the game in November, when I started researching and buying, those were around about 120, 130 pounds you could get your hands on them for. I checked on eBay about a week ago. They're now nothing under about 400. So I think what you're starting to see is people got priced out of one Haaland. So they bought another Haaland. That Haaland then went up. People then got priced out of that one. They moved to another one. I think the one we're seeing them move on to now is that tricycle that I spoke about earlier.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Ben, by the way, you're on mute.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just double checking. What, Ben, can you see our general YouTuber question, or because you're on your phone, you can't?
I can, but I'll turn the camera off.
No, I'll just ask them then. That's fine. I'll take your spot in. We normally take it in turns asking questions about stuff like that, but I was going to try and make them soccer card based. Normally do it because we often have YouTubers on. But what event or person inspired you to get into football cards?
So I saw a couple of TikToks from Sports Cards UK, who is one of the best in terms of, and one of the most subscribed people on YouTube, if not the most, when it comes to sports cards. So I saw a couple of TikToks from him, which sort of sparked my interest again, going, I remember collecting those. Watched a few more of his videos, watched a few of his YouTube videos, and it sort of went from there.
Ben, do you remember the next question?
No.
Is this your first time doing like an Instagram, YouTube kind of brand, or you've done this before?
Yeah, it's the first time I've gone sort of big with the branding on something. I used to sell clothes for a couple of months, but the margins were terrible, so I stopped that pretty quickly, took my money out, and looked for the next best thing.
I should have remembered that question.
Yeah, you love asking that question, mate. What's your favourite part? No, that's the kind of next question. I'm trying to word this about football cards. What's your favourite
aspect
type of content? There we go. That you do.
Type of content. I think everyone loves to see boxes being broken. I think the excitement, even when you're not involved, of the hope that someone will pull a good card for themselves is good, and I like watching box breaks. Yeah.
Well, this is kind of the next question. What's your favourite thing about doing soccer cards?
Favourite thing about doing soccer cards? I'd say the conversations I have with people. So many people in the community are here to help you out, and the amount of support has been absolutely huge. I recently had to register as a business, and the number of people in my DMs sort of telling me, oh, here's some help with this, here's some help with that, this is what you need to do, that's what you need to do. It was incredible.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. So you're now officially a business?
We're in the waiting periods. HMRC were contacted and the application was put in yesterday. So it's now just a case of waiting.
Well, we spoke a bit before about how we're kind of in the process of making our channel into a brand as well. So that's kind of, don't know if that's something we'd have to do in the future. Hopefully not, because that's going to take long. But
yeah, I think that's sort of a common theme. So like when we've been talking to other people, like it's been quite a nice thing to sort of to interact and sort of help each other out and stuff. So
Well, yeah, no, it's definitely, when we ask this question, it's always speaking to other people, like being able to meet new people, etc.
Like collaboration and sort of feature on each other's channels and stuff like that. Yeah, it's quite good.
Yeah, exactly. Have you featured on many other people's channels or Instagram?
I haven't actually. This is the first sort of proper podcast I've been invited on, so thank you very much for that.
No worries, mate.
I was on an Instagram live quite early on in my sort of my Instagram career, as we'll call it. But no, this is the first sort of proper podcast I've been on. So thank you for the opportunity.
Mate, you're welcome. It's always this is the first time we've had someone on when it's their first podcast. It's like not a family member.
I'm not sure actually. Probably. I can't remember though.
Yeah, because we obviously we normally get YouTubers on, and we've had a couple of family members on, haven't we? And my mate Theo as well. He technically hasn't done it before, and I guess us when the first time we did it. Is there anything you do differently?
Anything I do differently? I think, as with everyone, when they start something new, sometimes there's a little bit of an aspect of rushing into things, and I've been culprit of that all through my life. I go in head first sometimes, and it's I think as with most people who come into something new, that mistakes do get made early on. Thankfully, as I was only buying lower value cards, the mistakes were £2-3 rather than if I was buying higher value cards and the mistakes were 3-figure mistakes. So yeah, I think in terms of doing things differently, I'd maybe just have spoken to a few more people at the start. Even a couple of months ago, just been a bit more calm about it, thought about my my decisions moving forward and how I want to move forward and that sort of stuff. So patience and asking for advice is something I'd change a little bit at the start.
That's been a common theme as well. We've asked that question that people say, "Oh, we would have been like to have done a plan first, before going into it, and having an idea of what you want to do first." But sometimes it's better just to do it and see where it goes, because then you're not like overthinking it and stuff. Sometimes
that's kind of a bit like what we've done, isn't it, Ben? Like we kind of had a plan at the start, and then it's kind of gone completely different. That makes sense. Like we didn't start off doing guests, and now we get a guest on every week. So it's almost good to learn, as Ben said, on the job, just doing it, because you can get told as much as you want. And obviously, I said before the podcast, like I've had experience in YouTube, but not to this level of 2 videos a week every week since, well, technically 2 videos a week since January. But we once did was it 4 podcasts in the space of 7 days?
Wow.
Yeah, we did.
That was intense.
It's huge.
A lot of chatting, and they weren't even like short podcasts. Like we started to do more shorter podcasts, because obviously we're doing two podcasts a week. We do the longer one for the Thursday, like the one with you, with the guest, and then we have the Purple Show, which I spoke about before, which is a shorter one. Although yesterday's one went on forever. we did a young Premier League players tier list for 2020-21.
Yep.
And we got to Mason Mount, and I think we spoke about Mason Mount for about 25 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah.
Trying to
Still
figure
fun,
out,
though.
like, is he? So we had a world-class, quality, bang average, not going to make it dog as like our tiers. And basically, we were pretty much completely even on putting him in quality and world class. Obviously, I said world class because I'm a Chelsea fan and I love the boy. But Cam, I think Cam's listening because I'm at my mate's. My mate just messaged me saying Mason Mount is only quality, not world class. So I think he's listening through the door. Oh my word! I just saw my phone vibrate and it's just Mason Mount is only quality, not world class. Cam's part of the Purple Show as well. Dear. Cam, do you want to come in? If you can hear, you can say hi.
They're still fun though.
Yeah, we ended up putting him in quality, much to my. Hello, Cam.
What makes him only quality, not world class? Yeah, I know. How are we doing, boys? You right?
I'm good.
Good. How you doing, Ben?
I'm good.
You go shop.
Yeah, but I'm waiting for you.
I don't know how long I'll be, but I'll give you a bell.
You'll see Cam on the next Purple Show.
Yeah, that's the Purple Show right there. I found that so funny. He just messaged me. But yeah, so we ended up putting him in quality. Obviously, check out the video. Anyone that's watching from yesterday, because it was for the cameras, Ben, wasn't it? I played out for the cameras. Yeah. My upset looks were for the cameras, not because of.
Absolutely, yeah. He didn't go and cry. In a corner
once we stopped recording, no, definitely not. Yeah, but we had so Kieran, whose house Ben's at right now, we had to phone him to get a deciding vote. So right at the end of the podcast, you'll see I get him on a video call, put him next to the microphone, and we have a conversation with him deciding, because he was the deciding vote to put in Mason Mount in world class quality, and obviously he put him in quality.
I think I'd agree.
Oh.
You're a Liverpool fan, mate. Who's down in 7th, so you can't really talk much.
It's all right. Curtis Jones is world class. We're all good.
We had him in quality. We had Curtis Jones in quality. I think, but the conclusion we came to was Mason Mount was almost in like a bracket on his own between world class and quality, because he could become world class, but currently he's quality.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah. And I did make a bold statement about England captain, didn't I?
Yeah,
future England captain.
I mean, Kieran kind of summed up our debate when he was on the phone as well.
Yeah.
He said like everything that we said, but just like saying that he's at the top of quality and on the cusp of world class.
Yeah, we literally like said like he's at the top of quality, so we could put him at the top of quality, or you could put him right at the bottom of world class. Like he's at that stage, but certainly better than Curtis Jones anyway.
Oh yeah, Kieran leaned towards top of quality, so that's where.
Yeah, that's what we do. Final soccer card question. That's right. It's normally a YouTuber question, but I'm changing it. What's your future goals with your Instagram and your channel?
Future goals? I don't know. I suppose just to keep growing. I suppose I don't ever want to put a number or something like that to it, because I feel like then it all becomes about numbers, and I feel like in this community, numbers isn't what it's about.
Yeah.
I'd love to, I've got a year and a half left of uni. I'd love to be able to keep pushing this as hard as possible, and then see where I am in a year and a half, and then make a decision on what I do from there. But for the moment, I'm just so thankful to the support everyone's given me, and I just want to keep producing content at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. That's pretty much, I guess, the same for me. And obviously, I've got a year and a half as well left. So we'll see how this goes in a year and a half. Get the degree first, obviously.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that's. Sorry. Okay.
No, that was it. That was it.
I was just going to say, like, some of the more experienced people that we've had on have said that don't make it about the numbers. Like, if as long as you enjoy it, then the numbers should come. But make sure you enjoy it first, because if you're not enjoying it, then inevitably people are going to like see that, and the numbers will go down anyway. So as long as you're enjoying it, that's what it should that's what it should be about, basically.
And also, like, expect highs and lows. Like, something I guess we've noticed is we'll go through like a couple months of like pretty much 100 views a video, and then it'll go down to like averaging 45, 50 views a video, and then that's currently where we are right now, to be fair. But it kind of spikes. Like even weekly, it spikes. Like we do live streams every so often now, and those do really well for numbers, but they're long. It's like you're sat there for 2 hours. Yeah. So we don't do that all the time. Obviously, it's good for numbers because that's like pretty much guaranteed 100 views a video if we did that every time. But that's what, just over 2 hours of gone when we could be doing other stuff. I mean, we too tend to get a little bit tipsy for them, just a little bit.
Nothing wrong with that.
I mean,
what was that?
I mean, we'll be watching the match anyway.
Yeah,
it is a long time, like to be doing.
You've got to make conversation for like solid conversation for 2 hours long. And I think the only times we've done that is live streams and the Christmas and New Year's specials we did.
Yeah. And
then all of them we've been tipsy at least.
Yeah. So there's your tip. If you do a longer stream, just get tipsy and then you're sorted.
Time flies, mate. Time flies. We're giving away our secrets, Ben.
Oh.
All right. Well, hopefully this. What was that, Ben?
Just say, it's very top secret, that.
Very top secret. It's not like we're obvious about it at all. We'll have like we sometimes have people in our mates, like Kieran, when we had one of our streams. He'd be in the live chat and he'd just go, well, we had Josh as well from football. He just said to Fab, he just walked in with a bottle of rosé, just to like have as a sip or whatever. Josh went, Fab, you wouldn't neck that bottle of wine. Just live on stream. Fab just looked at it and went, oh, for God's sake. And proceeded to obviously neck it in 2 pints, which is nice. But yeah, it's good fun. Maybe we can get you on for a live stream in the future. That'd be good. If you talk about if it's a Chelsea Liverpool semi-final, that could be
absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well, hopefully that section's kind of allowed your fans, if they're watching this, to get to know you maybe on a more personal level, which could be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't tend to speak too much about my personal life. I prefer to keep it about the cards, but yeah, it's been nice to sort of speak about it a bit. Yeah.
Shall we talk about football? Considering that's our main topic of talk normally. Obviously, a Liverpool fan. Not doing particularly well right now, but obviously still have the Champions League to go for. Do you think you can make it your 7th?
It's going to be a tough one. I think it all depends on. I think Gomez has pretty much been confirmed out for the summer now. So I think obviously Van Dijk's been back in training. It'll be interesting to see how quickly we can get him back into a playing role. I presume Klopp's going to try and push it as hard as possible, but at the same time, we want him for 2-3 seasons to come. We don't want him to be niggling, be in and out like Hazard is. So I think it's going to be a tough one. I think the next 2 legs against Real Madrid, where it's sort of a proper test for us, is going to be really, really interesting to see. I've got hopes. I'm not as hopeful as I would have been the last 2 seasons, but hopeful still.
Do you think he has a reason to be hopeful, Ben?
Yeah, it's Champions League. It's like out of the British teams or English teams, sorry, it's Liverpool's competition, and it's a knockout competition, so anything can happen. At the end of the day, so yeah.
Have you been to many Liverpool games?
Unfortunately, I haven't. I've hardly ever been to a Liverpool game. It's a bit of a trek. I live south or southwest area, so to get up to Merseyside is a bit of a trek. I've been to one Liverpool game. It was Liverpool Portsmouth quite a while ago, but it was at Portsmouth. Obviously, it's a bit closer for me.
Yeah.
I ended up in the Portsmouth stand, so there wasn't really much opportunity to cheer any goals that were going in.
Yeah.
But from what I remember, Liverpool lost anyway. So
fair enough. Ben, do you remember the next question?
No.
Oh, damn, man. We're normally a lot more professional. Ben's on a laptop.
This is why.
We have notes.
No, this is good. I love this. I'm very, very, very happy just to have like a chat almost.
Yeah. Which is often what these kind of turn into, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just a casual chat. You know.
This is why you always send me the notes before. That's because I don't remember this.
All right. As you're only been to one game, what was your favourite game to have watched on TV that you can remember? And
watched on TV.
Were you too young to remember 2006?
Was I too young to remember 2006? Yeah, unfortunately, I was.
Right.
The amount of times I've watched it back on YouTube, however, it's very much.
It's almost like you were there, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. VR, everything possible. So, yeah, I think probably the one always that will stick in my head now is like the main one from when I could sort of remember has to be the Barcelona 4-0 after being down 3-0 at the Nou Camp. I think that as a game to watch was, just incredible. The early goal and then a little bit of a wait and then to score 3 off, 3 goals very quickly to completely turn the tie around was an absolutely huge achievement. And for it to be sort of one of the last games before coronavirus hit as well, and having the fans there for it was incredibly special.
Can imagine, yeah. I just about remember 2012, but just about. I was at the speaking of Barcelona in semi-finals, I was at the first leg of Chelsea-Barcelona in 2012 when we won 1-0, which was I don't think I've mentioned on the podcast before, have I, Ben?
No.
No, definitely not. Definitely never mentioned that before. What's your top 5 Liverpool players of all time then? Your
all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll say all time. We'll say that you like in your lifetime.
In my lifetime, I think number one for every Liverpool fan, it's got to be Steven Gerrard.
Really? I didn't know that.
The lad played number 8 on the back of his shirt.
Yeah.
Kissed the camera once. That was him.
Who?
I think. Oh, this will be a difficult one now. I think number 2, probably Xabi Alonso.
Fair.
Wasn't at Liverpool for all too long, but I just think the quality that he brought was absolutely huge.
That reminds me of. Did you see Ben Foster's podcast on Jackmate's Happy Hour?
I haven't, no.
When I drove out to Manchester a couple of days ago, about a week ago now, we had it on, and he talked about Xabi Alonso's. I think he scored a 40-yard screamer, and he said the instant he saw him take that, like he was 40 yards out, and he said, "You remember saying in his head, just please don't shoot, please don't shoot, please don't shoot," and then he does, and Ben Foster knew the instant he struck that ball was going in, and there's nothing he could do about it, but still obviously had to dive because the quality of Xabi Alonso. I sometimes forget he played for Liverpool.
Yeah, he wasn't here for very long, but he was absolutely class. Absolutely class. I think in third, it's a more up to date one. I think you've got Salah. I think the goals that the kids scored over the past 3 seasons has been vital to our success that we've had over the past 3 years. And I think on that lines, I'll probably chuck Mane in there as well at number 4. I think those two, for me, those have been a little bit hit and miss He's had patches, I think, over the past 3 seasons where he's been absolutely incredible. But he's had patches where he hasn't been great either. So it's difficult to put him in there. Yes, it was a front three, but I think from my perspective, at least Mane and Salah have to be on there. And then number 5.
Does that mean you have to choose between Torres and Suarez?
This is the thing. I was going to go Torres.
Drop Suarez. Don't tell Fab. he's on the Liverpool fan on the purple. He loves Suarez.
Yeah, I think Suarez he was a great player, absolutely great player. But I think he just left in the wrong way, having got banned for however long it was, and then on his returns to Anfield, he's not been the nicest of individuals, put it that way. I think when you see someone like Torres when he came back to Liverpool, or other sort of Liverpool players when they've moved on, when they've come back to Liverpool, the cop's been really, really nice to them, cheered them on. Suarez is the only one that we have a bit of hate towards, just because I think of how it all ended. It was almost like a very bad breakup.
Fair enough. Ben, you got to know this next one. It's the new question we put in.
I'm afraid not.
I'll give you a hint. Wine gums.
Oh, have you got any superstitions before a match?
Superstitions before a match? I don't. No, I don't play football either. I'm not very good at actually football myself. So I play a couple of other sports, but I don't have any sort of superstitions with regards to that.
Favorite goal you've seen?
Favorite goal I've seen? I can't remember the exact match. I'm going to have 2 here. I'm going to have 2, if that's allowed.
That's allowed, mate. No, you only had 1.
Emre Can's overhead kick must have been 3-4 seasons ago now.
Yeah,
that was
Emre Can.
incredible. Absolutely incredible. And then I think the other one, just for the significance of it, has to be corner taken quickly.
Oh, Trent's.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
As a Liverpool fan, you've got to.
Yeah. It's fair enough. I know spoken about how badly your season's been this season, so we won't ask you that question. What do you think the future of Liverpool holds?
I think the future looks good. I think it looks bright. I think we need to make the correct signing in the summer.
I'm surprised you said it looks bright. Very optimistic.
I think it does look bright. I think I maybe say it looks bright because I'm thinking of the likes of Harvey Elliott, who's out on loan at Blackburn currently, absolutely tearing it up in the Championship. Really, really excited. I'm going to say this now, and people aren't going to like me, but a small right winger, left-footed, we've heard it before. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I've got high hopes for the lad. Curtis Jones, I think, looks set for a Liverpool career. I don't think he'll ever be Gerrard, but I think he's good. I think it's now all about making the right signings in the summer. I think Jota looks like he could lead the line for us for a few years as well. I'd like to see some changes this summer. I think last summer, other than Jota, we didn't really move for anyone other than Thiago, and Thiago's been a bit hit and miss, really. I think with title-winning squads, you need to keep refreshing it. There always needs to be competition for places.
Yeah.
And so, yes, you won the title and you're the best team in the league, but you need to keep adding to the competition for the spaces. I think the fact that we didn't sign a centre-back in the summer was criminal. It was known that if Van Dijk or Gomez went out, Matip's good, but he's not world class. I think, this summer needs to be a bit of rotation, new players coming in, add that competition back to the squad.
Fair enough. Well, but is there anything else you want to ask?
Do you reckon Lampard, Gerrard is the next Liverpool manager after Klopp? Or
it's a difficult one to say. I would personally like it not to be. I think he has got his time, and his time will come at Liverpool. But I think Lampard, I saw them talking about this on Sky. I saw Carragher talking about it and a few others. When Lampard got that like call for the Chelsea job, as I'm sure Tom, you can relate to as well. When Lampard got that call from Chelsea, I had no in my mind, he thought I have to take this job. Chelsea are calling. I played there. I have to take it. Now, I think if Gerrard was to get that call, I think he'd have to take it as well. But I would prefer him not to, because he needs time. No one ever comes into a managerial position at one of the biggest clubs in the world and smashes it first time. They need that experience elsewhere. So if he wants to stay at Rangers for another 3-4 years, win another 2-3 titles, and then wants to come over, absolutely. I think he just needs more time.
No, I completely agree with that. With Lampard, I've said before, it was too early. And when he got that call, he was going to take it no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, it's Chelsea. They want you to be if I got the call and I wasn't ready, I'd be straight in the car to bloody London, Cobham, to do that. I think, it was just, if Gerrard gets the call, I think he'll take it, as you said, but he needs more time. I've said it. I've said he needs to. I've said to Fab says he wants him next season, not the season coming up, the season afterwards. And I was like, he needs to do it. He needs to do it again at Rangers first, at least. He needs to do it again, prove himself, maybe go to a lower Premier League side or go to Europe, get some more experience, and then come into the Liverpool job.
I think as a Liverpool fan, I'd prefer to see him go elsewhere. I don't think I'd want to see him at a lower Premier League club. No. Yes, the best place to gain experience about the Premier League is the Premier League, but I think you saw from Rangers getting knocked out of the Europa League, he's not ready.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a lot of controversy that came with that game, and I'm sure there will continue to be controversy going forward with Slavia Prague as they continue to do those sort of things. But I won't go into that because that's not for this podcast. But I think, if he goes somewhere, maybe Italy, I wouldn't go to France just because I think people will disagree, but I think France is a bit of a farmers league in terms of PSG being dominating there. I'd love to see him go Spain, maybe Italy, maybe even Germany. I mean, Klopp had the ethos coming in from Germany. Maybe he goes to Germany, learns a little bit, and comes back from there. But I think he needs Champions League experience before coming to Liverpool.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is there anything? I think we've covered a lot. To be fair, of this podcast. Is there anything you want to plug? Anything?
No. I'm not here to plug at all. I just want to say thank you again for having me on. It's for the first proper podcast to come on to. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Well, thank you for coming on. I think both Ben and I have really enjoyed it. I will have your Instagram and your YouTube channel linked in the description below. Do check him out. Been a fantastic chat. Really enjoyed it. Maybe even I might chip in for your next break. You never know. Depends. Got my birthday coming up as well, so maybe if I get some money for that, I can put that towards that because I'm interested anyway. Ben, is there anything else? I know you're on mute, but
no, I don't think so.
All right. Well,
no.
Thank you guys for watching. Check out down in the description, as I said before. If you enjoyed the video, do give it a like. If you're new around here, please hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss a podcast, even though we upload them at the same time every week, Thursday and Friday, 4 p.m. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on Sunday for another Purple show if the other 4 shows don't start before then. Goodbye.